I think I need a little theme song, don't you? Like some kind of song that brings out some, it's reading time. I don't know. But happy Wednesday, everybody. And I have emerged from the abyss of illness. Mental note to self, don't eat gummies. Yeah, I should know better, and I really do know better. But I always try to experiment to see if things are better. Yeah, why do you do that? If you know that something isn't good for your body, stop putting it in your body. That was a lesson that I had to learn this past weekend, and to be honest, it wasn't even really that good. I had ate about half of a gummy, and I was just like really hard to eat it. It was really weird in texture. So I ended up just, like throwing out the rest of it. Well, it ended up I got really, really sick. And so I was out for a couple of days, because whenever I'm using a pharmaceutical or I believe that it kind of changes my perspective or the way that I can get into a frequency. So I kind of abstained from doing readings, and I really wanted to do readings, but I was still on some stomach medicine. But now that's all cleared, and so I'm back to reading. In fact, there's a couple of people I need to touch base with because I had to change their appointment or cancel their appointment for a remote or online reading. Yes, I do remote and online readings. So it's kind of like this, but we're actually face to face. And the cool part about it is, and that reminds me, I've got to text this one chick, is that I have upgraded my Google account. And so now I can record our readings and then send you the link to be able to watch that reading, later on. So it's like a lot of times we might miss something that's being said or delivered in a reading, or we don't understand it, and then something happens, and boom, guess what? Oh my gosh, I just like bent the dickens out of that card. The next thing that happens is that, you go back and you watch it and you go, that makes sense now. And so that's why I kind of wanted to start doing that. So this weekend, because it's going to be so ding dang cold and predicted to have like snow and ice, which means that I'm not going to be out driving. And that's probably like, you're not going to be out driving. So I'm going to offer the remote readings this weekend only. You can save $10 off of the regular price. Hold on. We're doing the Christ Consciousness deck today, and so the cards are kind of like just flying out here and there. So I'm doing the online readings. $35, saving $10, $35 for a 30-minute reading, or $50 for an hour reading. And that is payable on Cash App or Venmo only. And they are prepaid, so when you make your appointment with me, I'll give you the Cash App and Venmo link, and you choose which ones, and that will reserve your spot. I am asking them to be prepaid. I've had a couple of people that, believe it or not, I had a couple of people that just didn't pay after their reading. And then I had a couple of people that canceled at last minute, and I didn't, I'd already turned down other people for a reading during that time frame. So my time is valuable, your time is valuable, and that's why we've put that price to it. I think that that's a reasonable fee for a reading, especially remote and online, and then you get a recording of it too. I mean, how cool. All right, so let's just see. We got anything else left to say? So do me a big favor today, and love this reading. Send me some stars. Comment where you're watching from. Subscribe, follow. Almost. And share. All right, so let's rock and roll, and we're going to do it in a row of 3. So it'll be the energy. The first row is going to be the energy where we're coming from. The energy where we are coming from. And we've got this stand firm. And then we have our obstacle, which I'm laughing is mothering and nurturing, Mother Mary. So what I'm looking at on here is that we're coming from a space of where we have been standing our own ground. Coming from a space where we are standing on our own ground, that we are very firm in who we are and what our, I'm getting like goal and motivation is. So this is being very, very grounded and being firm in it. But when I see Mary as an obstacle, that mothering and nurturing aspect, that has to do with the fact that we need to soften our heart a little bit. We need to soften our perspective, that perhaps we're being, instead of saying standing firm, that we're being overbearing. So this energy that we're coming in from is that, we are firm in who we are and what we're doing, but perhaps it's a little bit much. And we have this mothering and nurture saying you need to kind of cool your jets and calm down, change, soften that perspective. And what I find unusual is the Holy Spirit upside down, and it's talking about working through the Holy Spirit, or using the Holy Spirit, that energy of it, in order to get yourself back into a place of balance. And I'm kind of laughing because it's going, you're going to have to do some of this softening. I can't magically come over, touch your forehead, and you're going to soften your perspective. You've been on the extreme side of standing firm. You need to loosen it up a little bit, but that's going to be something that you have to do. So interesting thought process here. Whoops. That, we're thinking about how the energy is coming in, and that we, sometimes don't pay attention to what's going on, and that's what I see in this next one. All right, so the Magi are coming up upside down. Whoops. There we go. The Magi are coming up upside down in that very first card. Right over here, signs and divine timing. And what I'm getting on here is that you haven't been paying attention to any of the signs. It's almost like, and I'm not going to say narrow-minded, but I'm going to say blindfolded or narrow-focused. So you can't see the forest for the trees type of feeling here. And this is about you questioning the reality of things, okay? And I'm going to kind of go into it a little bit like this. So you're not paying attention to a lot of the signs and divine, to the divine signs. To, some people will go, I keep seeing 111, 111, 123, 123. What does this mean? You're not even seeing the time on the clock. You're not even seeing the time on the clock. And it's like you've put yourself into your own world, and all you see is what is in your own world. Now, this card here, I'm going to say, because this is where you currently are, this card here is about opportunities and seeing everything that is available to you. And when I'm looking at this card, the story that I keep getting through here is that it has been really difficult for you to appreciate and acknowledge opportunities. It's almost as if you want to place yourself in a position of obligation instead of opportunity. Like you feel like you have to do this thing because maybe you think you owe it to somebody, you owe it to them to do that. And so you're blocking yourself off from a lot of opportunity because you're so enmeshed or narrow focused on obligation. Now, I'm going to go card by card on this last one here because this is a really interesting aspect. In that first row, we were talking about how it was important for you to kind of soften your perspective and maybe broaden up a little bit on the way that you look things. And this card, and this is going into that future energy, this card talks about you getting back into a sense of humbleness. Now, what's interesting is how you get there is going to be all based on how you decide you're going to work opportunity versus obligation, what you feel like you have to do, and then what is offered to you. So if you accept things as what you have to do, you're not really humbling your spirit or clearing that to receive. You're actually digging yourself into a deeper hole or getting more enmeshed in something that really hasn't been bringing you the joy that you want. But when you're realizing the fact that you have so many opportunities now in front of you, you actually get into what I'm going to call that synergistic mode, that partnership, that connection, that coming together that helps to fulfill some of the open door opportunities that are in front of you. Now, one of the things here, and I'm looking at this, and this is the Grace card, and it's upside down, and I have that song about stumbling and fall, but they pick themselves back up again, kind of playing in the background here. It's not going to be an easy fix, and it's not going to be an easy experience. In fact, you're going to probably have to feel some of that humbleness a couple of times in order to get yourself into a good, healthy balance. So this is that midweek energy forecast. My name is Maris. I'm from OklahomaHealingConnection.com. Peace, love, and harmony. Have a beautiful day.